men, and I use the term loosely. Hey, back in the olden days, and by olden days I mean like April, I used to have time to work on that. That's my bike, and one of my bikes. And I did some videos of it, and there was some discussion of frames and swing arms because I switched this bike over to the like 79 and up square swing arm on there just because I like it better. I got some follow up on that, and actually, one of the viewers told me something that I didn't realize is that the frames are certain frame geometry is actually different, and I've got examples of that to share with you. So let's take a look. Okay, I've got two frames here. This one here is a 60s something. What year exactly, I don't know. And this one here, I do believe, is a 70 frame. A 70, not a 70 something, but a 70, I think. It might be something else, but I'm pretty sure it's a 70. And let me show you the primary differences that I see immediately. And this is what one of you viewers pointed out to me. And I have a side-by-side for comparison right now. Okay, this area in through here, this is commonly called the tomahawk, because if you chopped it off here and you chopped it off here, it would kind of look like a tomahawk. And you'll notice that this is primarily straight up and down, okay? Then we'll go over to what I believe is the 1970s frame, or rather the 1970 frame. And we'll look at this tomahawk. Once again, you chop it off here, you chop it off there, and it kind of looks like a tomahawk. You notice this one has a distinct curve to it. So this frame uses a longer swing arm than the other frame, okay? And the primary difference is right here because of the way this tomahawk is shaped. You need a longer swing arm to bring it back to line up with the shock mounts, etc., etc. Let's look at a couple of other things that make, I think, the 70 frame unique. This area here, this flange, the shape of this, I believe, is unique to 1970. On 70s, the key switch was mounted right below this flange with these two screws, okay? So this is a 70, I'm pretty sure. Okay, this is the other frame, the 60-something frame, and you'll notice it does not have this. As it so happens, this frame has the mount for the what's usually called the lunchbox oil tank, and it goes onto this bracket. This is welded to the frame, and on later years, there's two holes in there and it's bolted on, but this one is welded. So on the 60s frame, you got these areas are both tapered, no extra flange, and a welded on oil tank bracket. You'll also note here that the ears for the seat mount have been cut off and some extra holes have been drilled here and there. Not really an issue. I don't think they structurally impact the frame at all. But let's look at something else. This is not a factory weld. This has been re-welded, okay? The frame tubes are, back in those days, were what they were called furnace brazed. And basically, a brazing liquid or powder was put on all the joints. The tubes were fitted into the forgings. It was thrown in an oven. It was heated up. The brass flowed around the joints and fused everything together. I originally assumed that this had cracked and was welded. I don't think so. I think it was cut on purpose because there's evidence to me, well, I measured it so I know, the neck has been raked on this one, and I'll show you where and how in just a second. I zeroed the angle indicator on the bottom frame tube. So this is 32.9, so let's call it 33 degrees angle on the steering stem, okay? Let's look at the other one that hasn't been cut. Here is a frame tube that's been unadulterated in the area where the tube meets the neck. And there's a little tiny tack weld over here, and I believe when they assembled this and put the tubes together, they put a little tack weld on just to keep it lined up. So there's no big gobble weld over here. The furnace brazing is still intact. The original joint is still intact, okay? So this is original, I do believe. Look at the neck angle on this one. Let's call this one 28.5. So this is not raked, and the other one was. And let me show you where I think the raking occurred. If you look right here, there's a little bit of a hump. So I think what they did is they cut the neck over here, or they cut the frame backbone over here, cut a chunk of metal out of it, heated this up, heated the other one up, bent it back, and re-welded it. So I don't think this was a fracture. I think this was an intentional job to rake the frame. Let me show you one other thing. On this frame, we'll square up the straight edge on that boss, and you'll notice how the straight edge diverges from the fork tube. So this one has been bent right here. The neck has been bent back, which is kicking the straight edge out, so it's no longer parallel to the down tube. So this one has rake in it. Okay, if you do the same thing, square up a straight edge on this boss right here. Like I say, this is at best approximate. You'll notice this gap through here is consistent. This tube is parallel to that flat surface. So this one is unadulterated. And here's what prompted the discussion of the frames. What prompted the discussion of the frames was the swing arms. This one is off of the 60s something, and this one is off of my 74. This one is for sale on eBay right now. So if you go to my eBay store and you need a swing arm, here's one. Here's one that's for sale. If it's not on there, that's because Ironhead Peg forgot to relist it. But if you need a swing arm, anyway, here's one. They're different lengths by quite a bit. So, you know, you're 60-something and you're 70-something. Quite a bit of difference between those two. And just FYI, this one is, let's call it 20.5 inches long. And let's call this one 19 inches long. So, 1.5 inches longer. But anyway, short video. That's all I got for you today. Interesting stuff, I think, anyway. I'm sure some people are bored shitless, but I think it's interesting. Anyway, I am out of here. We'll see you next time. Thanks ever so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye. Just a quick reminder. You can help support and grow this channel, first of all and most importantly, by hitting that subscribe button. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to do a little more, join me on Patreon. Links down below. So go ahead and join me on Patreon if you feel so inclined. And finally, coffee cups, stickers, and gas tank covers are available. This is a new design coffee cup. I like the old ones, but I like these new ones even better. And to go along with the new design coffee cup, there is a new design sticker. Links will be provided in the description down below. Coffee cups and stickers are included with the Patreon membership. And thank you all ever so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate it. Bye.